You're starting with the flag, right?
Yes. I hope so.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
National anthem. This is the East High School study and also for the forces of the national anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes stand bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to Shania Campbell for those beautiful renditions of the Black National Anthem and the United States National Anthem. Before we get started, I'd like to invite up Chaplain Randy Henderson to lead us in an invocation.
Thank you. Good morning. Just like the song says, we want to enter into a new shared time of hope. I want to pray for God's blessings upon this town, upon this administration, upon this community, as we enter a new time of shared hope. If you close your eyes, bow your heads. Dear Father, we come to you this morning with thanksgiving in our hearts, Lord. We thank you for this gathering, for this time. We thank you for the opportunity for this administration to build on all that has preceded it, Lord. We thank you for a time for this community to come together at a higher level, Father, to focus on positive things, to focus on cooperation. We ask that, Lord, that you would keep your hand upon our elected officials, our police department, all of our first responders, that you would keep them safe. And Lord, we just ask for a peace in this town, a peace in this community that only you can bring. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for all things, and ask that your hand will stay upon us all. Lead us as you would have us to go. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Everybody can be seated. Hello and welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Stephen DeVay, and I am honored to be here to help MC this just historic day for Monroe County. This time of the year, I think we all get pretty accustomed to coming to various swearing-ins in some of our towns for our assembly, our Senate, our Congress, but today is a little bit different. Today is a little extra special. Not only are we swearing in our next supervisor for the town of Irondequoit and our town board members and our next justice here in the town, but we have a first. We have our first black supervisor elected in the town of Irondequoit, but just not the town of Irondequoit, in all of Monroe County. It's about time, right? It's about time. And that's Andre Evans as our supervisor candidate. And I had the opportunity to get to know Andre well over the last several months. And I have to say and share, and he will talk likely more about this, but what he and the rest of the town board, partnering with the rest of our elected officials, are going to do for this community and the vision that he has and the push that he is going to move the community forward is going to be fantastic. So no pressure, Andre, but we're really looking to you for that. Before we get started, I want to take a second to recognize some of those partners that he is going to be able to work with that we have here in the room with us. From our federal government, our Congressman, Joe Morelli is here. At the county level, our County Executive Adam Bello. And as well as from Jamie Romeo's office, our county clerk, Tad Mack is here to represent. I'm going to name a few of the folks here at the state level. So at the state level, we have representatives from Summer Brooks' office, Sarah Clark's office. Sarah Clark is here. She made it. So the tangent... Many of us are running meeting to meeting today, so I'm glad Sarah joined over here. From our the U.S. Senator's office, we also have Chris Zellman representing Senator Schumer's office. And Austin Ponce representing Senator Gillibrand's office. From our governor's office, we have J.W. Cook. Judges, we have Judge Michael Dollinger and Maria Cubios-Reed from our county. In the legislature, we have the new president of the legislature, President Yeversha Roman. Majority Leader Michael Udelson. legislators Dave Long, Lister McCoy, and Rachel Barnhart. Santos Cruz is here as well. I see him in the back. We have Town Supervisor Bill Maley. Also from Brighton, Judge Vilku is here. Councilmember Pete Wayner in Irondequoit. I think that's the entire list. I'm going to scan real quick. Senator Brook is here. It's so amazing to see so many of our fellow electeds in here, because what that means for Irondequoit is that the support of all of the levels of government, the partnerships that he is going to be able to build in order to move Irondequoit forward is going to be immense. You're not here to hear me talk today, so I am going to introduce our Congressman, Joe Morelli, who is working at the national level, constantly advocating for our community, getting us resources, representing our area, and as an Irondequoit native, I'm sure he couldn't be more proud to be here today. So Congressman Joe Morelli.
Yeah, gotcha. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to see a full house. I was saying to Adam just a moment ago, of course, we were talking over the crowd. I said, when were you town supervisor? What year did you get elected? Because I can't remember anything. And he said, yes, I was town supervisor. I go, I know you were town supervisor. I swore you in. But it's 10 years ago, he tells me, which it's amazing both how time goes so quickly, but also how it feels like, obviously we've been through a lot and we've done a lot. And I'm just so grateful. First of all, it's all the elected officials who are here, who serve this community. We are blessed with extraordinarily talented people who are willing to step up and take on responsibility for governing at all levels of government. So I'm grateful to all of them, but I'm particularly happy to be here to be a part of the festivities, to acknowledge and honor the historic wins of Andre Evans, certainly my friend Grant Malone, and Brian Green is our new town justice. And this today is an historic day. You can tell Andre's military because while clearly we could have found a seat for him, he's standing at attention and he's barking out orders. So, this is someone who has served, not only will serve with great distinction here as the town supervisor, but has served our country, for which I am personally grateful for, as a veteran who has served in war and has seen the great challenge of defending this nation and defending our democracy, which at times feels imperiled. And I was at an event just earlier this morning talking about how in 1800, the first successful transfer of power from one party to another, when John Adams effectively handed the keys over to Thomas Jefferson. And today we celebrate, again, the transfer of power from one party to another. But in America, we do this in a way that we're very proud of. Hasn't always happened. I was also reflecting on the fact that 3 years ago this morning, I was at the U.S. Capitol when we did not have a peaceful transfer. So this is something precious to all of us, and it's something we need to guard every single moment. This isn't given to us. I know as a child in school, I think I just assumed it was all, just guaranteed that we would always accept the fact that we would have democratic transitions and institutions that we would respect. All of us as citizens, not as elected officials, not as party leaders, but as citizens, need to take that very seriously. It's our collective responsibility to make sure that continues. But today, such a celebration, such a time of excitement, it's such a historic day. And I think if I could, and then I'll get off the stage and let my brother Adam Bello come and address you. But for those of us who take on the responsibility, and now Andre and Grant and Brian, in your first time as elected officials, I remember one of the things my father would say when I was growing up is, if you're in a position to do something to help another person, you have an obligation. You should feel an obligation to do that. And as elected officials, we are in positions to be able to aid our communities. I'm blessed. I've grown up in this community. I care deeply about Irondequoit. We've had inspired leaders, and we've had an ability to help people, to move forward our neighborhoods, our collective engagement, and make sure that those least among us have the opportunity to enjoy all the fruits of this beautiful, beautiful mosaic that we call America. So I just always remember that. I think of it often as I think about my mission and our collective missions of public service, and service being the most important part of that. We are servants, and we have this obligation, we have this responsibility to make sure our community moves forward. And I have no doubt with really, really inspired leadership and thoughtful leadership, that's what we're going to continue to do. So, Mr. Supervisor, I get to now officially say that to you. Congratulations, and I wish you the very best. And you know that I will be a willing and excited partner to you and to your administration, to you and Grant and those who will preside over this town and continue to move it forward. So, thank you so much, and God bless you. And it does seem like moments ago I was administering the oath to the prior town supervisor, and who has not only led this town with great distinction, but I think the voters in this community, I think, responded appropriately to his leadership over the last 4 years with an astounding and huge landslide victory in November, and will continue to be led at the county level by someone I have the utmost faith in, and so proud of, an incredible work that he's done. My partner in government, the Honorable County Executive of Monroe County, Adam Bello.
Thank you, Congressman. That was funny, because that's actually what happened. It's only been 10 years, but I didn't skip a beat. I said, yeah, I used to be in here. I used to work here. It was one of the greatest jobs I've ever had. So, but it's really, it's wonderful to be with all of you here. Thank you, Congressman, for that, that warm introduction. It's really good to be with all of you, my partners in government from all around the county, here in my hometown of Irondequoit. It's really great to really start off this new year with all of you. And to be able to say this is really a great day for Irondequoit. This is a great day for the future of the town of Irondequoit. Our new supervisor, Andre Evans, my friend. We've been working hard at this for a while. Congratulations, Andre. I'm going to talk about him in a second. Grant Malone, who got sworn into the town council today. Grant, we've gone through a lot together in the last several years as well. Thank you. And my friend Brian Green, my neighbor Brian Green. Congratulations, Judge Green. You've worked very hard to make today happen, and this town is lucky to have you serving as a town justice, so congratulations. So a couple thoughts to share. First, I do remember the excitement, Andre. I remember the excitement that I felt when I was sworn in as a town supervisor. There's a lot that you want to accomplish, and there's a lot that you need to learn. And it can be overwhelming when you're standing in front of all your friends, your neighbors, your family, elected officials from around the county. It's overwhelming, it can be daunting, but it's an opportunity, and it really is a privilege to serve a town that you're investing in, that you're raising, your family in, and it's something that you're never, ever going to take for granted. It's a challenge, but I know from firsthand experience that Supervisor Andre Evans and his team is up to meeting that challenge. Couple thoughts about today. First is that local government, especially town government, one of the reasons why I loved being a town supervisor and serving this community, and one of the reasons why I love being a county executive is that local government is really where the rubber hits the road. That is the closest level of government to the people that we're serving, and that's why it matters. And that's why you have all these local officials here. We've got Brighton Town Supervisor Bill Maley, who was just sworn in a few days ago. We have town board members from across the county. They love this job because it's the closest to the community. This is the job. You're in Wegmans, right? You're going to love this. I mean, you're not going to mind this. You're going to be in Wegmans, people coming up to you saying, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do this. Honestly, it's the best part of the job. I was at the gym this morning, and I talked to at least 5 or 6 people about what's going on today. It's good stuff. But here's the thing. This team is rightly focused on what matters. This is what matters to the community. So if we're investing in our business community, bringing people together, you're investing in your parks and the playgrounds, you're investing in the roads and our infrastructure, we're investing in our public safety infrastructure. This is what local government is all about. And it matters now more than it has ever before because we need good people in local government who are going to rise to that challenge. Over the last 4 years, we've gone through a lot of challenges as a community, and it was our local governments that stepped up and met those challenges. And that's what the opportunity these town board members and our town supervisor has, and they have that caliber to serve this community and do an outstanding job. And I know from personal experience that they do. I've had the opportunity to work with Brian. Brian, I'm so proud of you for being sworn in today. I've had the opportunity to work with Brian Green in both the district attorney's office and county government. And now I'm going to get to see him fulfill that dream of being a judge here in the town of Irondequoit, the town that he's raising his family in. We see him at soccer practice, soccer games, the whole thing. But Judge Green, we are fortunate to have him serving on the bench with our other town judges here who are doing a remarkable job. Grant Malone. Grant has been a friend of mine for a number of years. His leadership in the building and construction trades has done critical work building this economy. So as we're thinking about the safety of this community, we're thinking about the economy and growing this community and moving Irondequoit forward, Grant Malone knows how to get something done from start to finish. You want to get something done in this community, you go to the building trades and they know how to get it done, and they know how to get it done right. And Andre Evans. Andre Evans, he's our new supervisor. He's making history today. As it was noted before, Andre Evans is the first black town supervisor in the county of Monroe. And as the leader of Monroe County, I want to tell you how grateful and proud I am to be able to say that, and to be proud that I'm part of your team and working together to make my hometown the best that it can possibly be. Andre Evans exemplifies what it means to be a servant leader. He committed to serving our nation as a lieutenant colonel, and he's an Army veteran. And this is something that I say as we go around the county. I speak at a lot of veterans events as well. Actually, my veteran service director is here, Nick Stefanovic, and I know we have a lot of veterans in this room, and I want to thank all veterans for their service. But one of the things I always talk about when we think about our veterans is how they sacrificed everything for us. They sacrificed for those ideals and for this nation that Congressman Morelli was talking about. And then when they come home, they continue that sacrifice. They continue that service on behalf of their community. And Andre Evans is setting that example. He's living that example because he decided to step up and say, I want to continue that service and I want to continue that sacrifice for the town that I call home. That is a passion. That is an example for the rest of us and all the young people who live in our town, the kids, my kids that I'm raising, and everyone else, what it truly means to put service above self. And Andre, I want to thank you for being that example to our young people. I want to thank you for being that example to our community. Because I talk about continued sacrifice. The last group of people I want to thank here today and congratulate are your families. Brian Green's family, Grant, Andre, and all our elected officials from across the county, your families as well. Being a public servant is a great sacrifice. It's a lot of time away from home. It's a lot of time even on holidays. You have a responsibility now. It was just last year, I was at the Emergency Operations Center on Christmas Eve. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of responsibility because you're responsible for the health and safety and well-being of a community. And you don't hesitate to step up and say yes. And I want to thank our families for making that sacrifice and being a part of that service as well, because none of us who are in elected office can do it without you either. So again, congratulations to everyone who's here today that are new elected officials, returning elected officials. I'm so incredibly proud and looking forward to working with all of you to make Monroe County, and now today particularly the town of Irondequoit, a town for a lifetime. Thank you very much. And now it's my pleasure to invite up another elected official who represents the town of Irondequoit and someone that we work very closely with here at county government to bring resources back to Monroe County. And we're going to work very collaboratively here with our town of Irondequoit and our town supervisor and our town board to continue those strategic, meaningful investments in bringing people together here in Irondequoit. And actually, I'm going to spend some time with this week in Albany when we go back to Albany, because we're going back and we're going to hit the road and put a lot of miles on the car this year. And it's my pleasure to bring up my friend, New York State Senator Samar Brook.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, there will be many miles indeed, County Executive. Join us in Albany. It is such an honor to be here with all of you today, not just as your representative in the state Senate, but also as a community member, seeing our communities move forward with the leadership of our newly elected town supervisor, Andre Evans. But I also want to take a moment and point out for anyone who hasn't been to all of the swearing-in ceremonies over the past week or so, so many people from every single town have showed up for each of these swearing-ins. And I'm looking at so many of you that it feels like we've just been together for all of 2024, honestly, because it started in Brighton on day one of 2024. And so, you know, it might feel nice that the room is full and we're seeing our friends and it feels like a family reunion. But I also want to point out to those of you who are constituents and residents here in Irondequoit what that means for you. What that means for you is that your elected officials here in Irondequoit are being wrapped around by all of the other counties in Monroe County, including our county leadership and your state and federal leadership. It means that when your town supervisor or council members or your judges have questions about laws, have questions about resources, want to learn, hey, what are you doing over in Webster? What are you doing down in Fairport? What can we learn from each other? What it means is that we're all in this together and that we all want each other to thrive and to succeed. And that is not only good for your elected leaders, but it's good for every single one of the residents of Irondequoit. And that has been something that has not always been true. And so I think we have to pause and really relish in the fact that you all have voted and made your voices heard to have the kind of collaborative leadership that you deserve. And I know I speak for all of your representatives. We are so grateful to you, and we are so ready to get to work to make sure that the folks in Irondequoit feel what it feels like to have this kind of leadership. The other thing I wanted to point out is when Andre came to me to talk about running for this seat and representing this town, he said, you might know a thing or two about running for a seat, as I was the first Black woman to be elected to the Senate outside of New York City and its suburbs. And it means that we have to sometimes do more work. We really have to reach out to people. We have to build bridges to talk to folks that maybe don't share our exact experience, but who we deeply want to represent and make sure that all voices are heard when we are elected to that office. And so when I see more representation, more diversity coming into our towns, into our cities, into our county governments, into our state government, what it means is that we are starting to better reflect how not only America is changing, but how our local communities are changing. And that really is a testament to this community. It means that you looked for the qualifications that you knew a town supervisor needed. And now all of us stand together to make sure that our supervisor and our new council member and our judge are able to deliver for you in the ways that you are expecting. I also have to give a shout out to Grant Malone. As you've heard, he's a good friend of many. But when we talk about diversity, though, we have union leadership, right? We need folks who know what life is like for working families and who are going to make sure that they are as inclusive as possible. And I look forward to getting to know our new judge, and I have heard amazing things. And we obviously look forward to the fairness that you will bring to the bench as well. So with that, I will reiterate my commitment to all of you here in Irondequoit, not just to the residents who have put us in these seats and who have trusted us, but also to the elected leaders. You've got our cell phone numbers, you know where we live, you've got our emails. You'll make sure that we know the best way to serve you and in turn to serve the residents. So congratulations again to all our newly elected and returning elected officials. And with that, I will recognize and bring up my colleague in the state legislature, your fabulous, hardworking Assemblywoman, Sarah Clark.
You can tell session has started and that Samra and I spend a lot of time together because that was quite a Thank you for the wonderful introduction. You know, it's hard to follow a great slew of people, two of whom have deep roots in Irondequoit, two of our amazing electeds who have deep roots here in this community, and say anything more that you might be interested in, given that the show is really about our newly sworn-in elected officials. But I will do my best to add a few words that I just want to share. You know, we have heard about town government being this most connected to the people. It's where I started too. I started in city government when I was in college and just loved that it is the place where people are most in touch with what is happening in their lives. It is so important that it reflects the community, but that it also has people in it who care about the community. I joke a lot with many of my town board members who want to run, town supervisors who want to run. I mean, you talk zoning and I kind of, you know, my eyes might glaze over a little, but you talk to a town council member and it's like, that's their like bread and butter. Let's go, let's throw down on zoning and talk about it. And that matters because those are actually the things that affect where you live, how you live, where houses are built, how your community looks. And they're so important to have people that are really passionate about those things. So it's great that we continue to have more people who are interested in running and passionate about those things. I also agree with Grant, bringing in the trades and understanding what it means to, when you create jobs as a town, when you do develop projects, is that the people building them come from the towns that you're building in, and that the people who are building it are labor, are making a good living in our trades and can provide for their families, and as well as workforce development and all the things that we care about when it comes to those things and the effects town have on those kinds of projects. So excited to have your voice, Brian. Excited to have your voice. Most people know that's if you're going to court in Irondequoit, you're going in front of one of the judges here, and it is, you know, most common, the most likely place that someone from here would end up, and it really is important to have people who are passionate about it, who care about justice, who care about all the things. And you are joining a great group of people, including Judge Valentino, who's here, and whose son plays soccer with mine. So anyway, and then, but for Andre, I mean, we touched a little bit about it, and Adam really put eloquently a lot of good words about veterans, but we've lost two greats in our community over the last 2 years. We lost Gary Bykirk, and we lost Norbert Rappel. And Norbert Rappel was an Irondequoit resident. We just named a portion of 590 after him. What Nick and I talk about often a lot, what others talk about, is it's not necessarily the service that you do while you're in our military. What defines you is what you do when you come home. And the two that we lost did some really great stuff. And Andre is following in those footsteps to say, what more can I be doing? I'm not done serving my community. And he stepped up and he said, I want to run. I have ideas for this town. I care so passionately about this town. As much as it may be about zoning, there's other things that we can do in this town that really makes it better for our live, work, and play, for our families to grow it the way we want it, to put it on a course with a direction that we all can embrace and all feel part of. So it's really exciting that he's doing this. You know, we have had historic firsts in all our towns, starting in Brighton with Judge Vic Vicue, who's here, Naveen in Pittsford. We are seeing these ceilings shatter. And Andre, you are joining that class of people, and we are really proud that we are electing such a wide, diverse group of people into our government. It matters, representation matters, and breaking these ceilings is really important and will serve our community so well for the future. So I'm just honored to represent Irondequoit, to be a partner to you, to Grant, to Brian, to our county, to our feds, wherever we can, to make sure we're all doing the best for the people of Irondequoit. So thank you so much. I don't have to introduce. Back to Stephen.
Thank you. Before we get into the swearing in, I want to take a moment for those that are about to be sworn in to look and remember everybody that just spoke, and to remember, and I believe it was County Executive Adam Bello and Senator Brook that said, these are the folks that you have now to work with, to be able to call on. You have their cell phones. You can text them. You'll probably see them at another event. The part I'll add is do not hesitate to do that. I think often we feel sometimes asking for help can be a difficult moment. It can be that thing, and you don't want to feel like a burden. Everybody here is ready to serve, and on behalf of all of them, I will say we welcome your call. We welcome your call, and we want to help. So now, on to the swearing-in portion. We're going to start with our new judge, Judge Green. If you want to join up here with your family. And Judge Cubios Reed is going to be doing the swearing-in and the oath.
I just want to take a quick second just to congratulate Brian Green. Brian and I have worked together in Monroe County Family Court, and I am so excited for Irondequoit. He is incredibly knowledgeable, he is incredibly patient, and he will exercise justice to the best of his abilities. So I'm very excited for all of you because you have an amazing judge before you. If you want to raise your right hand. I, Brian Green,
I, Brian Green,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duty of Irondequoit Town Justice according to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Irondequoit Town Justice to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. First, I want to thank all of the elected officials from everywhere for taking time out of your busy schedules. I mean, I understand how busy you are, and we really appreciate you taking the time to be here. So thank you all. I'll try to keep this brief. Thank you, Judge Cubios Reed, for swearing me in and for being a friend and mentor, especially recently. I've really appreciated it. The first thing I'd like to do is, honestly, I'd like to thank Judge Russi for his experience, his dedication, his time. He can't be here because he's on a very well-deserved vacation. But he's a well-respected judge, and his shoes are big to fill. But I will do my best. So I want to make sure that I thank him for his commitment to this community. He was raised here, and he served as a judge here for 12 years. So, yeah. I also want to thank Judges Valentino and Whitman DeVoe and the exceptional court staff that we have here for welcoming me over the last week and mentoring me. It's been quite an experience already. They've already called me in 5 times for 7 arraignments, and I haven't even really had a first day on the bench yet. So trial by fire. But and County Executive Bello, I need to thank you for all these years of unwavering support. Since our time at the DA's office together, you've been a champion of mine, and I appreciate it. So thank you for that. There are a few other people that I feel like I have to thank, even though they're not here. People who at various points have given me opportunity or guidance. The judge that I worked for in Ohio, George Smith. Kent Marcus, a friend and law professor who served in the Clinton White House and was a mentor to me in Ohio, and Secretary of State Jennifer Bruner. District Attorneys Mike Green and Sandra Dorley, Public Defender Tim Donaher, who helped my family come back to Rochester from Ohio when we wanted to move home, and County Attorney John Bringawat, who's here, who is my boss in my other job and who's been a great mentor and has provided me a great opportunity. Kevin Fitzgerald is here, and Chris Quam, who can't be here, helped with my campaign. They're great friends. They've been friends of mine for a long time, and I couldn't have done this without you, so thank you. Everybody else who helped with the campaign, there are a few here, Maria Rodi and Joe Labasco and Emily Short. Thank you for coming out and knocking doors and helping in other ways. Mostly, though, I need to get to my family, my parents, for a lifetime of support. Sacrifice, unconditional love. Thank you. I can't thank you enough, but most importantly, my wife, Julie, and my kids, Evan and Emily. They put up with a lot, generally speaking, and I appreciate it. But others have said it today about the sacrifice that comes with public service, and as a assistant district attorney, endless trials, hours away from the house, being on call, getting called out in the middle of the night, and being gone for 12 or 15 hours or whatever. They've put up with a lot. And Julie, for what now, the last 21 years? You've been beside me every step of the way. And nothing that I've done would have been possible without you. So thank you. I appreciate that. So to wrap up, not to be cliche, but it's truly an honor and a privilege to stand here and serve the community in this way. For the last 20 years or so, I've been working in the legal community as a judicial law clerk, as a prosecutor, as a civil attorney for the county, various government agencies. It's really sort of humbling to take this next step. As a judge, I can't make you many promises. It's just not allowed. I have to treat every case independently. But what I can promise you is that I'll use my experience to consider every case independently, to be clear and careful, to keep an open mind, to apply the law faithfully, and most importantly, that I will treat every person who comes before the court with dignity and respect, whether that's a criminal defendant, a civil litigant, an attorney, or a police officer. I will treat you with respect and dignity, and I will be fair and impartial. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to the community for the opportunity.
Congratulations to Judge Green. We're going to continue on with the swearing in and move on to our town board seat. So I'm going to invite Grant Malone and your family up. Judge Reed.
I, Grant Malone,
I, Grant Malone,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of council member,
and I will
faithfully discharge the duties of council member
Thank you.
according to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and good afternoon. I have quite a few tough acts to follow here, but I'll be short and sweet. I need to thank, obviously, my wife. As was said previously, without your family, this doesn't work. In my professional career, I'm used to being gone long hours and working for working class people, so I feel this is a good fit for myself for the town of Irondequoit. I guess getting to know Andre during the campaign, walking, knocking doors. Andre and I are both veterans. And I gotta believe that having conversations with Andre on those rainy nights, knocking on doors, we have a common ground, a very large common ground. I think I learned in the military that if you don't like what you see, then get involved and try to make a difference. That's one of the reasons, one of the main reasons that I ran for this position. I live in Irondequoit, obviously. My family is here. I'm committed. And what else can I say? I'm here to help. With everything going on in the world today, we need to work together. I feel I'm one cog in the wheel. It's a team effort with this, and we've got a great team moving forward. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Congratulations. As before we move on to Andre, I want to take a moment to recognize and congratulate both Brian Green and Grant Malone at this level. There is a experience, a dedication, a passion that we have not seen in some time, and I'm excited to hear about teamwork, treating each case individually, and we look forward to the work that you're going to do here in Irondequoit. Without any further ado, our supervisor in the town of Irondequoit, Andre Evans, will be sworn in.
I have to also issue a quick congratulations. I'm sorry, it'll be 1 second. Sorry. Andre and I also campaigned together. It was a very long, very hot year, and I never knew Andre until that time. And I'm also so excited again for Irondequoit because Andre and I, on a particularly hot day, the couple times we walked together, he had his Camelback on, came better prepared than I did with his water, and we went around town talking to people, and he was just so excited. And every so often we would stop, and he would tell me a little bit of history about some of the landmarks in Irondequoit, and just talked about how passionate he is about this community. We did some dancing at Blue Palm, and I really got to enjoy Irondequoit more than I had before. So congratulations to Andre, to his family, and to the town of Irondequoit for this historic and amazing future that you're about to embark upon. So, I, Andre Evans, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Irondequoit Town Supervisor
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of Irondequoit Town Supervisor
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
I just want to acknowledge that the U.S. Constitution guarantees two things: freedom from religion and freedom of religion. In my belief system, and both of them are equally important to me. In my belief system, I can never conceive of starting a journey without asking for the blessings of the Almighty. Thank you, Chaplain Henderson, for the blessing on our community. I want to thank my dearest wife, Kristen, who often says that she's just a housewife, but many people don't know that she keeps me straight because she's an anthropologist, keeps me straight because she's a psychologist, so I stay tempered. And my son, Gabriel, he's going to hate me for this, MIT robotics engineer, and my daughter, who's an RIT 3D animator, who's now working in the film industry. They hate when I brag on them, but and of course it had nothing to do with it. I'm still asking my wife, really tell me who the real father of, because these kids are really too great. I want to thank the police officers. I want to thank my family for all the years of support they have given me through all of these years. The many missed family events, the many disappointments they endured only for me to live my commitment in service to our great nation and in service to our great community. I want to thank all police officers and all the first responders who walk a similar path to keep our community safe. Thank you, Shania Campbell and Ellie McKay from East Irondequoit High School for the blessings for us with your music, for blessing us with your music today. Thank you, Judge Reed. Thank you, Congressman Murley, County Executive Fellow, Senator Brooke, Assemblywoman Clark. Your support and guidance, mentorship means the world to me. You're my mentors, and I greatly appreciate all the hours you spent with me, not only for the campaign, but for the last 15 years. And I want to thank my first mentor, Bill Johnson, who, when I was a snotty notes student, I was his communications intern, and he served and have been serving as my mentor now for over 40 years. It fits that our town, where the land and waters meet, If you can listen closely, you'll hear a resound loud as the rolling sea, that a change is coming to all parts of our county and here in Irondequoit. Starting with my dear friend Maria Caballos Reed, the first Hispanic judge elected to family court. Commissioner Isaiah Santiago, the youngest member elected to the school board at 18 years old. My brother, Judge Vic Singh Vikul of Brighton, the first Indian American trial court judge elected in New York. Councilman Naveen Havanarva. I've never pronounced your last name before, by the way, Naveen. The first Indian American town councilman member in Pittsburgh, New York. Legislator President Yversha Roman, the first Hispanic president in Monroe County. Now, you heard about the collaboration, but I'm proud to say that President Roman joins legislator Rachel Barnhart, Santos Cruz, Dave Long in representing our great town. And lastly, myself, the first black person to be elected to serve as town supervisor in Monroe County history. Together, these officials, we will represent every part of our community. We will continue building a community where every voice is heard. Irondequoit, like a phoenix, is awakening, is coming back. Together with Grant Malone, Peter Wayner, John Perticone, we will focus on an Irondequoit that you can be proud of, an Irondequoit that is open for business, prosperity, and growth, a government that is for the people and by the people. An Irondequoit that cares about the well-being of our guardians and puts the safety of its people first. An Irondequoit that provides a path of opportunity to young people to secure their future. An Irondequoit that contributes to the health of our planet, that is sustainable, contributing to the well-being of all. Irondequoit, bright days ahead. A change is coming.
Congratulations, Supervisor Evans. There is so much work to do ahead, and it's going to start. It's already started. We're on the 6th, so they've had 6 days of hard work already. And the partnerships that you're going to have are going to be immense. And for both you, Grant, and Judge Green, I could not be more proud to have been able to support and help in your efforts, and I congratulate all of you on serving. The work is ahead, but now we celebrate. And so on behalf of Supervisor Evans, I'd like to invite everybody to, and I'm blanking on the name of the room, Justine, Farmer's Market, right across the parking lot for some delicious food that Andre Evans has purchased and will have. Maybe he wants to say a few words about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. The repast is provided by Blue Palm, who just recently won an award from our Irondequoit Chamber of Commerce, and Triple Flavors, Mochi Nuts, who also won an award. So I want to highlight the great businesses that we have in Irondequoit for both dessert, food, so come on out and eat as much as you want.
We'll see you over there.